Hi guys, so don't forget, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And whether you're a new viewer or an existing viewer, don't forget to hit that bell to be notified of when we have new videos up, and also hit that like button. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the Iwata Black Flash Limited Edition spray gun. Now it does come in a numerous amount of nozzle sizes, but I've had this as a 1.8 for a primer gun, and it's not often that I actually do a primer gun review, so I thought this would be a good one to get up. And I have had this for quite a while now. Our channel sponsors PMP Supplies sent this out for me to do a review on, and I have to say it's not often that I personally get to use this spray gun, but I really do like this gun as a primer gun. Now the only reason that I don't often get to use this particular gun myself is because the lad that I've got working for me at my shop tends to do a lot of the primer work, but he's not an experienced sprayer, so it just shows for starters that this is an easy gun to use. It only took me like once or twice of showing him how to do a bit of primer work with this gun for him to start getting used to it. Now this particular job is on a Volkswagen T5, and we've got in, we're doing some colour coding work on these bumpers, and there's a couple of little repairs on the van. Now I'm using a high build primer at 4:1 with 10% thinners just to help with a little bit of flow. Now one thing that I personally like about this gun, especially on something like this where you've got like really heavily textured plastics like this, now these have already been plastic primed, and then I'm going in now with the high build primer. Now you will notice there that straight away it's a nice quick gun, and also this is running I think around about 20 to 25 psi, so even at 25 psi this is really bucketing out that high build, and I have found, you know, if you add a touch more thinners you can get a real nice smooth finish to your primer as well. Now for this I've left the primer quite thick, you know, 4:1 with just 10% in it, just to help it flow out the gun that little bit better, because I want that really nice build on these textured bumpers. And as you can see, you know, this is really flying around these panels. Now it's got the 1.8 setup in this. It's a really nice gun to use actually. It feels nice to paint with, and also this Black Flash Limited Edition does look pretty cool as well. And as this has been sent out by our sponsors at PMP Supplies, and as they are the only stockists who actually have all these Black Flash Limited Edition guns, I will leave a link in the description to this spray gun on their website. So maybe if you're in the market for a new primer gun, I think this is priced around about £130 UK, and for that kind of money, I mean, for me, I compare it to the sort of like the FLG5, the DeVilbiss with the 1.8 in it. This it feels 10 times the gun, and it also sprays a lot better than the FLG5 and a 1.8. The FLG5 and a 1.8 I thought struggled a little bit high build, whereas this has got a really nice fan, and it really will pump your primer out. I've had this gun now for I'd probably say about 4 months, and I've done a couple of big primer jobs with it myself, a bit like this one, and also I've done like a full shell with it, and it was effortless. And as you'll see from this mirror caps that I'm doing here, if you've got a nice smooth mirror cap, you know, if it's smooth priming that you're going for, then even with a really thick builder primer you can actually get quite a nice smooth finish with that. It is quite a surprising gun for the sort of price range that it is. And let's face it, most shops that I've been in and most shops that I've worked in, the primer guns are kind of like the workshop hack gun. You know, they get a lot of abuse, they maybe don't get cleaned out as well as your clear coat gun or something like that, but I have to say that this gun is really easy to clean. You know, all the internals and everything, with it having obviously a lot of high build through it, stuff like that. Your primer guns can get quite gunked up sometimes, and be quite a pain to clean. Now all the internals seem to clean out really nicely, so does the pot, and just generally it just feels like a nice gun to use for primer. You know, it's one of them, I don't like really spending a lot of time in the booth doing primer work, which is one of the main reasons why I've got the other lad doing most of it. It's not that I don't enjoy it, it's just one of them parts of the job that I think, you know, I'd rather be in there putting the base and the clear on, or putting some gloss down on these bumpers, rather than spending, you know, half an hour in here putting a lot of high build down on the car. But I have to say, I do like priming with this because it is so quick. I can do a nice big primer job like this in a matter of sort of 10 to 15 minutes and get it on bake. Obviously, normally when I'm filming like this, it does take me a little bit longer than actually if I've not got the camera on, because I'm kind of like more aware of where the camera is and trying to get some good footage for you guys as well. But you know, if I've not got the camera on, you know, you could easily knock this job out, you know, 4 good really thick coats of high build in like 10 minutes, just, you know, whipping round with no issues. Get that really nice build that you need on there over your repairs, like round here, so you've got something nice to block out with. And also on these textured bumpers, you know, this customer for this van wants these bumpers nice and smooth, so I want that build of coats, and I don't want like 3 or 4 really thin coats. I want 3 or 4 really nice good thick build coats, so that when we come to sand these down, this particular job we DA'd and sanded all these down with a P500. You know, there's plenty of material there to make sure that the finished job, you know, there wasn't too many rub throughs in it, and I didn't have to go back around repriming areas, because obviously, you know, stuff like these colour coding jobs, they are a bit of a pain in the arse to start with, because obviously you're trying to sand all this texture out of them, so you don't want to be going through it and, you know, bringing some of that texture in the plastic back and then having to reprime it. So you know, you want that build, and personally for me, I want to get it on there nice and quick, and I want to get that level of build down without too much hassle. And like, one thing that I would say about this primer gun is, this gun in a 1.8 is genuinely, this gun almost feels like too nice to be a primer gun. I'd be interested to see actually what it is like in the other tip sizes, because I believe it comes in a 1.3, a 1.4, 1.6 and the 1.8, and it would be quite interesting actually to see what this is like in something like a 1.3 for, I don't know, maybe clear coat or maybe a bit of direct gloss or something like that, because it genuinely does feel like a really, really nice spray gun. And I think if it sprays this well as a 1.8, then I wonder just how well this could spray in different tip sizes, which might be something that maybe we'll have to have a look at in the future for you guys. And as I say, the other good thing is it keeps, you know, having the pressure nice and low. I always find with high build that, you know, if you've got a gun that you have to run at quite high pressure to be able to force the high build out of it, and because it is so thick, then you tend to end up with your booth really, really dirty because of all the primer overspray. Whereas after this job, I mean, don't get me wrong, my booth runs quite efficiently. It is got extremely good filtration in it, because we spent a lot of time refurbing it and balancing it all, so it did run, you know, absolutely spot on. And we did spend that much time actually setting this up, that I have to say that this older Dolby refurbished does actually run a lot better and a lot cleaner than the booth that I was painting at the last shop you saw me painting at, whereas working for someone else. But it's just because we put the time and effort into this booth, because we want to put out really nice clean jobs. We want to minimise the amount of polishing work and that sort of stuff. And like I say, because this sprays at such low pressure, it sprays really nicely at 20 psi actually, for high build. It leaves a lot less really heavy overspray on the floor off the high build, so there's a lot less clean-up time after you've done a big primer job like this. And obviously, you know, no matter how much you try and clean your booth up, you know, you can never get all the overspray and all the dust out. It's just one of the things that doesn't happen. I mean, for us personally, we haven't had time to paint the floor yet, because from day one we actually got the booth up and running properly. It's been pretty much flat out all day every day ever since, so we've not really had the chance to get the floor painted. But even so, it doesn't seem to be making much of a difference to the cleanliness of the actual jobs in there. But at the same time, it does kind of bug me that the floor's not been painted yet, because I do like the booth looking nice and clean. And I do hope shortly to start getting some more sort of like more paintwork videos, some more you know, like base coating and clear coating, and some more 2K gloss videos up there for you guys. And also, obviously, with this being my own place, it gives me a little bit more freedom now to get a little bit more repair work filmed and that sort of thing, and maybe do a few more sort of like dedicated videos for a few of the viewer problems that I get asked every now and again, about certain clear coats, about certain ways of applying things, flash off times, bake times and drying times, like air drying clear coats and that sort of thing. It does give me that little bit of a more free run to make them sort of videos for you guys now, because obviously I've not now got someone over my shoulder saying, oh no, you can't do that, because that'll take you, 10 seconds longer than it would have done before. And one video that I'm going to get up shortly actually is the Octoral C450. I've just had some of that clear coat in with their fast hardener, and I have to say, for you smart repair guys out there, this is going to be a cracking clear coat for you guys. It is a really nice, fast drying, fast curing clear coat. Flashes off really quickly, so it limits the amount of dust and the amount of dirt that you're going to be getting in your jobs. Obviously for you guys that are doing it outside and that sort of thing, and even for you guys at home, it might be a good one to use, because it's not going to be affected by the temperature and as much as the usual clear coats we use in our booth. But that's going off track a little bit. So as far as this spray gun goes, genuinely, I do rate this a lot higher than the DeVilbiss FLG5 that previously has been a sort of main primer gun of mine. It does spray a lot nicer. It does put a lot higher volume of high build out for what is the same sort of tip size. It's a lot more efficient as well. There's a lot less overspray out of this gun. Just generally a really nice gun to use as far as primer goes. As I say, I haven't had a chance to try it in any other tip sizes yet, so that is why I have put this up as primarily a primer gun review. But honestly, for what is £130 primer gun compared to some of the sort of DeVilbiss PRIs and the other guns that are out there that you could use for primer, genuinely I don't like going mad money wise on a primer gun, but I do want something that's good and it's going to last. Genuinely, I think this is going to be the gun to go with. For you guys that have got that little bit more to spend on a primer gun, 130 quid, you cannot knock this spray gun really. It is a spot on spray gun. And also, now I'm back at spraying at my own shop, I am going to try and get a little bit more of a mix of guns going as well, rather than just trying to use the everyday guns that I found were best for certain jobs that I was doing all day every day at the previous shop. I'm going to try and start mixing it up again, maybe get the bell area out for a bit. I actually used the bell area for the gloss work on this just because I fancied it, and I really enjoyed it. It's a gun that, it's the sort of first high-end gun that I bought myself, and I've never got rid of it, and I never will get rid of it either. It's a really nice gun, and get the LS out, maybe try that for a bit of clear coat work and a bit of gloss work for you guys, and I have shot a bit of work with the Sartor 5500X with the eye nozzle for that I did some gloss work with in gloss black, so I'll try and get that edited up soon as well, and just try and get more of a general sort of mix of videos from now on. But I am going to try and keep an upload sort of schedule of one video per week. I found that trying to do any more than that, unfortunately, it does have too much an effect on sort of like my home life and also my work life as well. So as much as I film sort of like 9 days out of 10, I'm just going to try and pick what sort of kind of suits what you guys are looking for and the comments that I'm getting through out of that footage to try and get up videos that you guys want to see. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and I will see you again very soon for the next video, where we'll be taking a look at the Octoral C450 with the fast hardener, because I do think that's a clear coat that would interest quite a few of you guys, and I have actually already recommended out to a few people after using it for the past sort of couple of weeks, because it is quite a nice clear coat. So that's it for me for today, guys, and I'll see you again soon.